Okay, so let's have a conversation about something called the character diamond. Now, this is not something that I created. This actually has existed for a lot of years, a long, long time. It was created by playwrights. And what they found was when they were creating characters for a play, right, that if the character had fewer than four character traits, like primary character traits, then the audience didn't really connect with the character and they felt that the character was very shallow. However, if the character had more than four primary character traits, then the audience felt like the character was way too complex and still didn't connect because of all of the complexities of the character. And so they've landed on four as the ideal number here of primary character traits for a character in a play or in a movie or a TV show, what have you. Now, why does that matter? It matters because the same holds true in your content. When you're creating content, there are character traits that you are displaying to your ideal customer, and you are literally giving them the opportunity to align or disalign with you. And that's what you want, because if they're not your ideal customer, you want them to disalign. But if they are, you want them to align. But here's the even more important and integral part is it sets expectation in their mind, your customer's mind, of who you are, what you represent. And so it creates this box that you play in that they say, I like. So let me give you an example. Most of us know who Homer Simpson is from the popular show The Simpsons, right? And we have an idea. When you say Homer Simpson, we have an idea of Homer. He wasn't the smartest guy around, right? Matter of fact, his most famous quote was what? Do! For all of the silly things that he did. Well, that's what we know of Homer Simpson. That's what we believe. That's what we feel, right? We understand his character. Now, if there was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer Simpson walked into a major Fortune 500 company, into their boardroom, and was the chairman of their board and conducted an actual business meeting and was productive, we would all wonder what in the world happened. Because that's not Homer. And believe it or not, your customers who are viewing you through social, who are watching your videos, who are seeing your content on Instagram, they're creating this box that you play in based on what you put out and says, that's the box I expect you to play in. Okay? And the way that you control that is through the character diamond. The character diamond. So let's take a look at the character diamond now. Hold on, I gotta adjust here. Okay, so looking at the character diamond here. So this is the character diamond. If you go research it online, this is what's going to come up. Okay, again, I did not create this concept. And so there are 4 points on your character diamond. The first one is your primary character trait. Your primary character trait, or it's called your North Star. This is the thing that most people know you for. This is the thing that you lead with, the trait that you lead with that stands out the most normally to most people. Let's take our friendly Superman. What is it? His superpowers. Dude can fly, he's super strong, he leap tall buildings, yada, 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 yada. North Star, that's the trait that you know Superman for up front, superpowers, period, dot. Then there's the secondary character trait. Now, the secondary character trait is designed here to counterbalance the primary character trait. It's the thing that keeps the primary character trait in check. Now, that doesn't mean it's negative. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a negative trait. But it does not mean it's a negative trait. But it's the thing that makes sure that this super power in Superman's case doesn't get out of whack and out of control. And that's what? Kryptonite. This tiny little green rock strips him of everything that he has. It balances his superpower. Now, people hear kryptonite, they think negative, but it doesn't have to be negative. That I want to make sure you hear. It's very clear. It does not have to be negative. It just needs to balance your primary character trait. Okay, so that's primary and secondary. Next, we have your non-negotiable, or the hill you are prepared to die on. This is the thing, this is the lens that you view everything through. This is the thing that must be true in the world for you. This is the thing that you're willing to fight for, no matter what. When all the chips are down, you're willing to fight for this particular character trait. And so in our friendly Superman's example, that's what? It's his. Nah, see, this is what happens when you do these things and there's no editing. My brain just went dead on me, y'all. So with Superman, his non-negotiable is truth and justice for all. There it is. Truth and justice for all. Right? I told you I'm not editing any of these. You're getting me raw. Truth and justice for all. So if Superman's faced with a decision, truth and justice for Lois Lane, truth and justice for the entire planet, he chooses the entire planet. Goodbye, Lois Lane, because it's truth and justice for all. If it's, hey, I can do this thing and take a shortcut and it's going to make my life better, or I can do this thing that's going to make my life much harder, but be better for everyone else. I'm going to do the thing that's better for everyone else because my non-negotiable is truth and justice for all. Okay, yeah, I got a little passionate there. And part of the reason I got a little passionate there is because the thing that I want you to hear is even though your primary trait is a thing that people see first, it doesn't mean it's the most important to you. It does not mean it's the most important to you. Your non-negotiable typically is the most important thing to you because this is a thing that must be true. Must be true. All else fails, this must be true. Must be true. And lastly is your quirk or your mask. And this doesn't balance. It's not like the primary and the secondary. This is not a counterbalance here. Okay, but with the quirk and the mask, this is, or your not so secret flaw and sin. This is the thing that, and this is how I like to describe it. Is there something about you that a lot of people believe that's not true? You know it's not true, right? And very often you have to correct people. And sometimes you don't, but you think about, should I correct you on this? And they believe that this is true about you and about your character. Okay? Because that's the thing that you've put up a quirk or a mask. You've put up a mask that is making people believe something that isn't necessarily true because you're hiding some sort of sin or flaw. In Superman's case, it was what? The moment he put on the glasses, he became incapable of talking to Lois Lane. Dude could not put two words together to say to Lois Lane as soon as he put on the stupid glasses. Makes no sense. But it was the case. That was the truth. That was his quirk, his mask, his flaw. And we all have one of those as well. Okay, so this is the character diamond. That's kind of the example there. Now, how do you do this? Well, you know, it's easy to go out and say, hey, let me Google a list of character traits. And you could, and you should, and get the list, because that will help you, right? When you do this research and you look up character diamond, people even will tell you, you know, try to align yourself or create your character diamond like someone in a movie or on a TV show, because those were all research-based, and they were research-based based on real people. The reason we align with characters in movies and TV shows is because they made them better versions of us. And so we align with them, or sometimes worse versions of us, or versions of other people that we know. Right? And that's why we align with them. That's why it makes sense. I don't like that though as a way for us when it comes to creating content. I don't like for us to say, well, I'm a Homer Simpson, because you're not Homer Simpson. I get that there were tons of episodes of The Simpsons, but he still wasn't a true human and it still wasn't a fully developed character. You are a real human and a fully developed character. And so I don't like saying, hey, I'm a Homer Simpson or an Al Bundy or anything, anyone, a Superman, because it's not truly who you are. You need to create your own character diamond, let it represent you. Now, as you go out and you do research and you find the list of character to traits and you start thinking through these and asking yourself and trying to figure out your character diamond and you're looking at it, you may run into the problem I did. And the problem I did, and I had this problem for a lot of years. So I'd helped a ton of people, dozens and dozens of people create their character diamond, and I didn't have one of my own. Because when I went through the list of character traits, I just didn't find the four that really resonated with me. It just didn't fit me. And it wasn't until a friend helped me that I realized that I didn't have to use their words. I could use any terms that I wanted. So before we go, I want to show you mine really quickly. So this is it here. And this is a template. If you want the template, just let me know. We can send this to you. It's a Canva template for character diamonds. We also do archetypal research, which is a whole nother conversation. But here is my character diamond. So it starts off, my North Star is confident. I show up confident. Usually the first thing you see with me. My counter star, what balances that is that I am warm. The hill that I'm prepared to die on is lovely. Yeah, that probably doesn't make logical sense to you. It doesn't, because it's not a trait that's on anyone's list in anyone's definition. Okay? I created my own because that fit me. And that's okay, because this is your character diamond. And then lastly, my flaw actually is very private. So the mask that I put up is that I'm completely open, but I'm actually very private. Okay? And so on page 2, we actually define what each one of these means. So let's look at lovely for a moment. Look at lovely. Okay? The one that I created for me. Actually genuine. I care profusely, often to my own detriment. I see who you can be. I give you a safe place to be vulnerable and be yourself. That's what it means to be lovely to me. And that's the hill I'm prepared to die on. So, it's time for you to create your character diamond. Because your character diamond is going to help you create better content. After you create your character diamond, you'll even start to see some of the content that did not resonate with your audience and did not do well. You may even be able to see where you violated your own character diamond in that content. And some of the content that did really well, you'll see where you aligned really well with your character diamond. Likewise, you'll even start to see, and look, let's call a spade a spade. We all see stuff online and like, oh wow, that's really cool, I'm gonna copy that. Well, before you go copy someone else, and so often we copy what someone else does and it doesn't work for us because what they did aligned with their character diamond. And so we see it, we like it, but the thing is we have to then take it and filter it through the lens of our character diamond, not just recreate what someone else did. So, if you want the template, let me know. I'll be glad to send that to you. Just hit reply and we'll email it to you. But that's the character diamond, y'all.